Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Today we are going to discuss about micellar solubilization and hydrotropy. Start with the definition. Micellar solubilization. Solubilization is the process of incorporating the component that undergoes solubilization into or onto the micelles. The solubilization may occur in a system consisting of a solvent and association colloids, that is a colloid that forms micelles and at least one other solubilizate. Means what here, the substance which is going to be dissolved with the help of a surfactant or the dispersant molecule, oil phase which when it come in interaction with the aqueous phase by formation of a micelle, then its solubility can be enhanced or increased. This process called as a solubilization by forming a micelles, hence it is called as the micellar solubilization. In short, we are calling it as a solubilization. So agent is used in micellar solubilization. The drug paclitaxel, example they have taken here, the drug paclitaxel is highly lipophilic in nature, highly lipid soluble in nature and insoluble in water, practically insoluble in water. Its current marketed forms as an intravenous infusion. Paclitaxel is solubilized by using chemophore EL as a polymer, which is a non-ionic surfactant and helps in the micellar solubilization. This chemophore EL is a non-ionic surfactant and hence it is used in the increasing the solubility of poorly soluble substances such as the drug paclitaxel, which is highly soluble in which is highly lipophilic solubility. It is having this lipophilic solubility and practically it is insoluble in water. Such type of insoluble nature of drugs can be also made into soluble by using the chemophore, such type of non-ionic surfactant, by forming of a micellar solubilization with the help of micellar solubilization. So how micellar system solubilize the poorly soluble drugs? The micellar system can solubilize poorly soluble drugs by increasing their bioavailability, and they can be used as a model system for biomembrane. So the micellar system can dissolve the poorly soluble drugs. How they are solubilizing? They by increasing the bioavailability, and they can be used as a model system, one of the model for biomembrane, as well as a drug carrier in number of drug delivery and drug targeting system. Micelles are known to have an anisotropic water distribution within their structure. So within their complex structure, by formation of a micelles, these substances increase their solubility by increasing the bioavailability of that drug. Thereby its solubility is going to be enhanced. Its solubility is going to be enhanced a number of times. Have anisotropic distribution within their structure. Types of micelles. A typical micelle in aqueous solution forms an aggregate with the hydrophilic, that is head region, in contact with surrounding solvent, sequestering the hydrophobic single tail region in the micelle center. This type of micelle is known as a normal phase micelle, oil in water micelle, which is called as oil in water micelle. So if you see the types of micelles, there are different types of micelles are available, but if you take the general example, micelle consists of an aqueous solution forms an aggregate, means they will come closer with each other with the hydrophilic head. It consists of a head portion as well as a tail portion, but the head portion is a hydrophilic in nature, in which the water is surrounding towards the solvent, then sequestering hydrophobic single tail region in the micelle center. This type of micelle is known as normal phase micelle, which is oil in water micelle. We are calling it as a oil in water micelle. Why oil in water? Because the tail portion present in the oil, whereas the head portion is present in the aqueous phase in the water. It is called as a oil in water micelles. So normally we can call it as a normal phase micelle. Now we can see functions of micelles. The micelle act as emulsifier that allows a compound that is usually insoluble in water to dissolve. The detergents and soap work by inserting the long hydrophobic tails from soap into the insoluble dirt such as oil, while the hydrophobic head face outside and surrounding the non-polar dirt. So in the diagram you can see here where is the free molecules are available at below the concentration, below the CMC, and when it maximum reaches to the CMC, that is the formation of a micelles are going to be observed. when it combines with the oil droplet with the help of the by formation of micelles, this solubility of the oil droplet is going to be enhanced by the process of solubilization. So this technique is normally followed in the normal phase micelles, where the insoluble type of drugs can be enhanced their solubility by increasing the bioavailability as well as by formation of the micelles. Hence their solubility can be enhanced. It is called as a solubilization. Coming to the next example, next uses of micellar solubilization. Now, what are the benefits if you are using the procedure for micellar solubilization? In the under this advantages or uses, we can see the micellar solubilization is widely utilized, such as in laundry washing, using detergents in the pharmaceutical industry for formulation of poorly soluble drugs in solution form, and in cleanup of oil spills using dispersant. This process enhances the bioavailability, hence it is called as molecular. Hence it is one of the benefit for the formation of micelles and increasing solubility of the poorly soluble substance by using micellar solubilization. If you see in the graphical diagrammatic way how the micellar solubilization of drug works, so you can see there is a different type of micellar solubilizations can be observed: soluble blocks and insoluble block portion. Insoluble block portion remains same, whereas soluble blocks you can observe in the chain form, side chain form you are observed. These soluble blocks or insoluble blocks are separated with a separate distance, and soluble main chains, whereas insoluble grafts, that is side chains, when they combine with each other, thereby their solubility can be increased. Advantages of hydrophobic solubilization technique. So the advantage, first advantage we can see here, it precludes the use of organic solvent and thus avoids the problem of residual toxicity. Means there is no availability of toxicity we can observe, and errors due to volatility, pollution, cost, etc. can be enhanced here. By using the hydrotropic solubilization technique, we can avoid the problems such as toxicity, errors during the preparation, and volatility of the solvent can be reduced. When it enters into the atmospheric condition, it cannot be pollute the atmospheric condition, and by cost effective also. This, by following hydrotropic solubilization technique, it is a cost effective method also. It is a new, simple and cost effective, safe, accurate and precise and environmentally friendly method for the analysis of poorly water soluble drugs by titrimetric and spectrophotometrically precluding the use of the organic solvent. The another advantage we can see, the next advantage, it only requires mixing the drug with the hydrotrope in water. The hydrotropes is suggested to be superior to another solubilization method such as miscibility, micellar solubilization, co-solvency and salting in, because the solvent character is independent of pH and it has high selectivity and does not require process of emulsification. And the last advantage we can see here in this slide, it does not require chemical modification. No chemical modification is required for the drug, such as the hydrophobic drugs, use of organic solvents or preparation of the emulsion system. So these are some of the advantages for using hydrotropic solubilization technique. Now let us see some of the disadvantages of this technique, hydrotropic solubilization technique. Disadvantage, if you see, there are issues related to toxicity associated with excess use of hydrotropic agent. So there is a chances of toxicity is observed when we are using more hydrotropic agent, high concentration of hydrotropic agents when we are using, then there is a chances of toxicity is going to be observed. There is a chances. The relatively high concentration required to reach the MHC limit, the commercial application of hydrotropes. Then there are chances of the weak interaction between the hydrotropic agent and the drug. There is a chances of interaction. Once the interaction between hydrotropic agent and the drug is weak, the drug solubility cannot be expected that much more when compared to other high interactions. In high interactions, what happens? The hydrotropic agents will increase the solubility of the powder soluble drugs, thereby its solubility can be enhanced. Whereas in the weak interaction, that chances are not available. As there is use of water as a solvent, complete removal of water cannot be achieved, because here the water is used, there is a chances of more mixing up with the drug. If the other nature of solvent has been used, then there is a chances of complete removal after the complete procedure. Drug solubilization to determine the equilibrium drug solubility in presence of surfactant. Excess amount of drug, that is 1 gram to 1.5 milligrams per ml of danazol or fenofibrate respectively was added to. So here they are explaining about the procedure how the drug solubilization can be done. So drug solubilization can be done at the equilibrium state in the presence of surfactant. That is what we have to do here. The following steps we have to follow. The first step we have to follow here is the drug or the sample or the compound through which the solubilization has to be done. That sample has to be taken of 1 gram, 1 milligram per ml of that drug. They have given the name danazol or fenofibrate. We have to take, and it was added 10 ml freshly prepared surfactant solution, either cationic, anionic or non-ionic, any kind of surfactant we can take. We have to prepare the solution of 10 ml. In a fresh solution we have to dissolve this drug of 1 gram or 1.5 mg of danazol or fenofibrate into the 10 ml of freshly prepared surfactant solution. For some of the experiments, the aqueous phase contained is 600 ml, 600 millimolar sodium chloride in order to study the effect of ionic strength. So the aqueous drug suspension was stirred with a magnetic stirrer. The drug suspension has been stirred with a magnetic stirrer at 400 revolutions per minute, that is RPM. In the centrifuge we can stir, or mechanical stirrer we can stir by this way at 24 hours. For a complete 1 day we have to stir at a temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. After incubation, the suspension was filtered through 200 nanometers nylon syringe filter to eliminate all undissolved particles. After complete stirring of 24 hours at a 400 nanometers, what we have to do, we have to, after this incubation period, the suspension is allowed for filtration at a 200 nanometers nylon syringe filter to eliminate the any undissolved particles are there. To avoid that one, we are filtering in the 200 nanometer nylon. Finally, what happened, the concentration of the solubilized drug in the obtained clear aqueous phase was determined by HPLC. So finally what we are doing, we are determining the concentration of that solution what we have mixed with the surfactant as well as solvent, and finally it is filtered. That solution has been observed under the determined for the concentration in a solubilized drug to obtain a clear solution with the help of high performance liquid chromatography. Every step of the procedure, including filtration, was performed at T1/4 at the temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. The drug solubilization efficiency of surfactant measles was assessed by the molar solubilization capacity. So this step is followed for a drug solubilization process. What we need to do here, we have to take a gallon drug of 1 mg, 1 or 1.5 mg per ml. It is dissolved in 10 ml of the freshly prepared surfactant solution. After that, we have to transfer some aqueous phase containing 600 millimolar of sodium chloride in order to study the effect of ionic strength. Then the aqueous drug suspension was stirred at a 400 rpm revolutions per minute for 24 hours at a temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. That is normal room temperature. We have to stir. After stirring this one, then go for filtering this solution at 200 nanometers under nylon syringe filter. The remaining step is as usual. So we have to calculate the drug solubilization by using the formula X is equal to STOT minus SW into 1000 divided by CS minus CMC. So most of the terms you are familiar to this one. Once again, I will also try to explain here. Where slot is the measured molar drug solubility in the presence of surfactant. SW, STOT is the measured molar drug solubility, and SW is the intrinsic water solubility of the drug, whereas CS is the molar surfactant concentration, or we can say concentration of the surfactant, and CMC is, as we know, that it is a critical micellar concentration of the respective surfactant. Note that the subtraction of SW from STOT and of CMC from SCS allows one to consider only the drug and surfactant molecules that are incorporated in the micelles. Surfactant monomer and drug monomolecules dissolved in water or disregarded. Most of the experimental data points were obtained from multiple experiments at a single surfactant concentration of 0.5 weight percentage for most surfactant, as the drug solubility increased linearly with surfactant concentration. So by using the above formula, one can able to determine what is the drug concentration as well as what is the critical micellar concentration, what is the concentration of the surfactant, and what is the intrinsic water solubility of a drug. These every parameters are going to be come to conclusion after performing the experiment, after inputting the values what we got after the experiment into this formula, into the above formula. Then it can become easy for to measuring the drug solubility. Okay, it has went to end chapter. No, sorry for the disturbance. Yes, okay, we can continue here. History and description of hydrotropes. The term hydrotropes was first coined by the scientist name called as the Carl Newberg in the year 1916, but the practical implication was introduced as late as 1976 by Thoma and co-workers, in which in this technique, by adding a large amount of the secondary solute will increase the aqueous solubility of the poorly soluble drugs. However, the term has been used in the literature to designate non-missile forming substances, either liquid or solid, or organic or inorganic, capable of solubilizing compounds. This is the background, historical background of the hydrotropy. The term hydrotropy, what we have to remember from this slide is that the scientist who has coined the word hydrotropy, it is coined by the scientist name called as Carl Newberg. And the year we have to mention here, we have to remember here in the year 1916. But the practical implication means he coined the word hydrotropy, but it's when it came into existence means when they started doing work, when they started performing experiment of this hydrotropy in the year 1976 by another scientist name called as Thoma and co-workers. So what is happening in this technique? He has added a large amount of secondary solute, increased the. So what he observed that in this technique he added a large amount of secondary solute. Thereby what happened? Increased the aqueous solubility of the poorly soluble drugs has been observed. However, the term has been used in literatures to designate non-missile forming substances. This hydrotropy, other name for this hydrotropy is non-missile forming substances, either liquid or solid, or organic or inorganic, capable of insolubilizing substance is going to be used in this method. Next we can see mechanism. How does it works? The enhancement of the solubility of the poorly soluble drugs by the hydrotrope is based on the molecular self-association of the hydrotrope and on the association of hydrotrope molecules with the solute. Although hydrotropic agents are widely used in various industrial applications, only sporadic information on the mechanism of hydrotropy is available. Whereas various hypotheses and research efforts have been made to clarify the mechanism of hydrotropy. So overall, the available mechanism, what we got from the information we are discussing here in the slide, the available proposed mechanism can be abbreviated accordingly into three different steps. Three different procedures are available there. One is self-aggregation potential, structure breaker, and structure maker. Structure breaker, structure maker. Third one is the ability to form missile-like structure. So these three mechanisms are available by which the hydrotropic agents are going to be shown its mechanism. Let us see in the next slide. So this is the structure of hydrotropic agent. How we can observe from here hydrophilic part. So this area what they have mentioned in the red color arrow mark indicating the hydrophilic part, that is anionic or metal ions. It is a minor effect of hydrotropy. Minor effect of hydrotropy means at this the baseline, and below we can see the powder sample which has been entered into the baseline. Now hydrophobic part, and the below portion called as the hydrophobic part, where the aromatic ring system called as the aromatic ring system. Here the major effect on hydrotropy. In the upper portion there is a minor effect on hydrotropy, whereas in the lower portion it is a major effect on hydrotropy. And in the upper portion, in the upper slide, you can see the hydrophilic portion, that is hydrophilic portion, we know that it is a tail portion is observing here, and in the hydrophobic portion, that is the head portion, we are observing in the aromatic ring system. When they combine collectively, the effective balance between contracting parts is going to be observed in the flower Backeton. That is, it is balancing these two portions with the help of the hydrotropic agent. Self-aggregation potential. The minimum hydrotropic concentration (MHC) is a critical concentration at which hydrotrope molecule starts to aggregate. That is self-aggregation potential. The solubilization power of the hydrotropic agent is governed by their self-aggregation potential. This potential depends upon their amphiphilic feature and the nature of the solute molecule. They mainly shows the volume fraction dependent solubilization potential. So here the hydrophilic and hydrotropic and hydrophobic part, hydrotropic agents with planar hydrophobic part and hydrophilic part. self aggregation means after combining with all the substances in aggregation of hydrotropes in a stepwise manner, that is a dimer means double polymers and trimer is triple substances. The last slide in the third image we can see here stacked complex of planar hydrophobic group of hydrotropes with the hydrophobic drug molecules. So here at the last end of the slide, at the end of the image we can see here that the drug portion is combined with the hydrophilic portion of the surfactant. So after combining with the hydrophobic portion of the surfactant, there the drug penetration and the drug solubility is going to be enhanced. This is the mechanism of the hydrotropes by which the drug solubility can be enhanced or increased. Minimum hydrotropic concentration is required here to perform this experiment, and as well as the self aggregation potential also required. Then the solubilization of the substance is going to be enhanced. The individual hydrotropic agents with the planar is observed on the first image. On the second image, self aggregation means these hydrotropes will come closer to each other, they will form an aggregate. In the third step, after forming an aggregate, when it combines with the drug substance or molecule, they stacked complex, they form a complex of planar hydrophobic group of hydrotropes with the hydrophobic drug molecule. Then starts the process of solubilization. Then it will start the process of solubilization. So initially what happened, hydrotropes molecule undergo primary association. Initially these hydrotrope molecules are there, they will come closer with each other, they form an association. Initial association called as primary association. In the pairwise, just it forms a small pair, which is followed by consequent steps to form trimer. Tetramers means it is multiplied, and again it is multiplied 2 times and 4 times, and so on it will continue. It forms a complex trimer and tetramers, could then leads to higher aqueous solubility. Means as long as the multiplication increases, their solubility of the drug is also increases. This outcome have evolved from the fluorescence emission method. So crystallography analysis, molecular dynamic replication and thermodynamic solubility experiments. From these experiments, they are come to conclusion that they are forming trimers and tetramers. Apart from these, they may act as a bridging agent by reducing the Gibbs energy to increase the solubility of the solute. Simply, the structure of the hydrotrope water mixture around the drug molecule is the true key towards understanding the origin of the self-aggregation potential. So, hope you understand from these slides. We have done our efforts to in trying to understand in much at the student level. We have prepared the slides so that it will become easy for you to understand. And once again I am repeating, these slides and this topic for the information is purely prepared for the upcoming budding pharmacists, not for the experts. And the students, they should not take it as consider it as a final thing. They have to take the slides, headlines they can take headings of the slides. Then they have to go for preparing further slides. They have to collect the information. They have to collect various research articles. Then they have to collect from the various textbooks such as Martin and all. Then they have to prepare final notes. From that notes they have to prepare for the final preparation. Please, and all the I request personally to don't consider these slides as the final one, and try to enlarge the topic as much as you can, so that you can prepare more number of examples from this topic, elaborate the thing, and well done with your final examinations just by considering it as an example. So this is the overview we have given, we have provided to you. So please like, share and subscribe for your for updated videos if you like the channel, and encourage the channel so that we can come up with some new upcoming another important interesting topics, so that it will be benefited for so many upcoming pharmacy graduates. Thank you, Ananda.